News with Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, turns out Jeffrey Epstein will have to stay in jail as he awaits his day in court. Federal judge in New York denied bail.
My heart weeps for that billionaire.
Yeah, for who's accused of crimes related to child sex trafficking.
Ooh.
Yeah,
he is convicted.
I bet he doesn't have a lot of friends now. Like, I bet everyone's trying to distance themselves from him.
Like Clinton and Trump and everybody else.
And no one's going to the mat for Jeffrey Epstein now.
No.
I've seen a lot of those, like, inside music Hollywood things where it's like they were locked up. You know, Mike Tyson was in prison for rape, and there was one guy that just kept writing letters and didn't judge him and all that kind of stuff.
I know where this is going.
What if I did that with Epstein? You know, I don't work the airplane stuff in until, like, letter 4. You know what I mean?
Right.
I start with big fan, been watching you from afar for a lot of years, been sort of just
great stuff.
Doing some great stuff, and then somewhere
it takes a turn.
Somewhere around letter 4, I'm like, I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get to. You know, there is an airport at Pebble Beach. They do have
it's
one.
It's small, but it's
small.
You wouldn't know it.
They have one, but Burbank doesn't service it. I have to go to Long Beach. I start working, you know, and then he writes back with, why don't you just hop a ride on my, you know what I mean?
There
you have to establish a connection.
Yeah.
Put the ball in his court, you know.
Right.
Let him
And
be
then
the one to suggest.
I sort of just keep going like, God damn, the dog chewed up my picture of naked 13-year-olds, and now I'm shit out of luck. So,
and you hope that he goes, what kind of dog?
Yeah.
That he's invested in what's going on with you.
I have a safe they didn't crack at my house.
Did the dog just bite the whole picture or just the penis? And you're like, all right, well, now we're on the same page.
Right. I do feel like if
he's not a homosexual pedophile. He's just a pedophile.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't know if that guy, I don't know what his heirs are doing. I haven't heard a lot about that kind of stuff. But there's stuff that could be bequeathed.
I was going to say, does he have significant others?
Family man?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well,
is it confirmed bachelor?
Ask him in your letter.
Ask him all about it. So prosecutors argue that due to his large wealth and uncertainty about how much is even accounted for, he's, of course, a significant flight risk. Authorities found tens of thousands of dollars in cash, loose diamonds.
I think that may be a rich man, poor man, flight risk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you're poor, you just drop everything and go.
You go to Mexico, you walk to Mexico. Like, it's not a middle class problem.
Right.
The flight risk.
Yeah. Epstein's lawyers noted that he is willing to put up his New York mansion as collateral for house arrest. They also pointed out that until this month, he hadn't had any legal issues since his 2005 conviction. So, choir boy.
No issues since the last conviction for pedophilia.
Exactly.
Since then.
But the judge wasn't buying it. All right.
So, again, does anyone dabble in this? Does anyone treat pedophilia as anyone just, tried it, not into it? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like you're in or out. It's a
lifestyle.
It's a sexual Vegemite. Yeah. You're either...
Yeah, it's not driving Uber. You don't just try it out.
Get your side hustle on.
Yeah, now, welcome to the stage, sexual Vegemite, Adam Carolla.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no one says that relationship with Vegemite where you go, you like Vegemite? I'll eat it. I'll eat it like on Thursdays, but not really.
Yeah. If it's there,
I'll ask when I go into a restaurant. But if they don't have it, I'm
if it's
fine.
house made,
right.
Farm to table. So this is crazy. We should put this up because the visual is amazing. The fire department responded to an apartment fire around 9:30 in West Philadelphia the other night. And what they came to find when they got to this 19-story high-rise, according to CNN, was a man climbing down the outside of the building Spider-Man style. I mean, truly
Is he wearing
insane.
a Spider-Man suit?
He should have been. Videos show him grappling down balconies and railings for several floors until he got to the ground. Yeah, where anxious authorities jumped in to lend a hand at the very end. The fire was believed to have started by a trash compactor.
By the way, the anxious authorities, like the guy scales a 19-story building, and then when he gets on the ground, you put a blanket around him. Like, thanks. Couldn't have done it without you.
Hand him a coffee.
It's almost 67 degrees out here. Boy, I would immediately collapsed before I made it to the ambulance if you didn't put that blanket around me.
Being cold was definitely my concern on the way down.
The only one who's anxious as the guy holding a mop, like, please let me go to bed before midnight tonight.
The thing about this there is something about this that doesn't add up, though. This looks heroic. It looks amazing. You can't believe he's doing it. But the building was evacuated. Some residents were unaccounted for, but there were no injuries. It's not like there was a giant fire licking the sides of the windows and he had no choice. Everybody's fine. A little bit of smoke inhalation here and there.
I think that's why they just widened out with the camera. I think the news guy was like, whoa, is the
where's
place
the
burning
fire?
down? And like, it was actually a small chicken pot pie that went off, but he just wanted to get the fuck out.
So is he really just an edgy dude? Or
Yes. And by the way, if he was a true gangster, he'd be wearing a Batman costume while doing this just to throw the Marvel nerds into a whirlwind.
Also,
where is this?
Philadelphia.
To your point about
Philly,
like
man.
Vegemite and pedophilia being not things you dabble in, climbing. No one's like, I kind of climb here and there. It's like, no, you climb. That's your thing.
Maybe he's a pedophile. Maybe this is the way that he tries to distract people from what's truly going on.
I'll tell you.
How could a pedophile scale a wall? Come on.
I'll tell you, tough pot. Like when this kid was 7. And the parents were like, "Oh, we got to hide the Hershey's Kisses," and they put them up on that upper shelf in the kitchen. Like you're essentially you teach kids to climb because your first move is they're 3 foot tall. We'll put it at 6 foot. They'll never get to it, and then they just go for it.
You want
they become free climbers.
Still seems. If you can see it as a kid, you're like, I can get it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to like hide it in a spot that you're never going to go looking for, like, mommy's dildo drawer. Or, or daddy's. It's 2019.
The worst improv group name I've ever heard.
Mommy's dildo drawer?
Yeah,
say that 10 times fast, you get a free dildo drawer. See, I can't even say it.
So Dr. Drew is still spreading his message about homelessness. He's doing it on other platforms, too. I don't know if you saw this. Appearing on Fox Nation's One Smart Person and Greg Gutfeld and The Five. Pinsky explained that public officials are looking at the wrong culprit, focusing their efforts on providing housing for the homeless, that it's not working. Fox News reports that in 2018 alone, California spent $600 million to tackle the spread of homelessness, and it increased by 16%. Pinsky offered a different solution to the public health issue. Here's what Dr. Drew had to say.
But as a physician, I wake up every day looking at this, and it incensed me. I've practiced in the area for 30 years, and of course, one talk show host to another, whom you should never trust a talk show host, as you pointed out. But just making sure we both would understand. But I practiced medicine for years. Please don't confuse my success in the media with my day job, where I've been an assistant clinical professor of medicine and psychiatry, and I've run departments in a psychiatric hospital. These are my patients on the street. I know who they are. I've treated this population for years, and it is ridiculous that they're calling it a housing problem. It is ridiculous. The rat thing, I saw that coming 18 months ago. I predicted the typhus epidemic. It hit and is amongst us now. The problem is there are things that follow typhus. Given that they've done nothing for this rat population, there are other illnesses that will follow. We have tuberculosis exploding. We will see Yersinia, which you may know as plague. We have potential measles. We have people, their excrement and their bleeding and they're urinating in the street every day that is getting washed directly into the LA River. 60,000 people's excrement is getting into the river, into the ocean every day. Wow. If I had a city of 60,000 people that was disconnected from the sewage treatment plant, my God, the environmentalists would freak out.
He was impassioned.
100% bullshit.
Are we drinking blood and piss water?
Yeah, drink up.
And I think I'm asking for the group.
Cheers.
Only in the studio.
Are you guys with me that
my coffee is sweeter?
We have all these things where it's like, safe spaces and trigger words, and we're pulling stuff off the internet, tearing down statues like trigger word,
clickbait,
human fecal matter. I have heard the term human fecal matter 700,000% more. And this is a guy who had human fecal matter mashed into my ears.
You would have heard it 100%.
Yeah. I technically can only hear it out of my left ear because my right is still clogged with human fecal matter.
For a 5-minute period in 8th grade, it's all you heard.
There is kind of a problem when you hear like human fecal matter on the street. Your brain sort of has to go there. Like if somebody says, butterflies and soft tacos, you go, and they go human fecal matter, you go, like Tuesday. There's that thing, right? And so we're sort of being there's a kind of a pollution. There's like air pollution, there's sound pollution, there's like trash on the ground. I feel like my brain is being polluted with a lot of human fecal matter talk in L.A.
Poop pollution is, well, the greatest band name of all time, but it's also something that we now have to be heavily concerned with.
You see that Indian with the single tear going down his eye while the homeless guy is squatting a log by the side of the freeway. We all remember the PSA. Yes.
I remember the PSA, yeah.
Right.
They should be able to say, like, shit or crap or whatever. Like, human fecal matter, I feel like either goes, no pun intended, in one ear and out the other for a lot of people, or there's a lot of mouth there's like, duh, what's that? Just there's shit in the water. There's poop in your water. That's it. They'd be like, wow, that's a real problem.
Right. Yeah.
Who did that PSA with the
Indian?
Who was sponsored
by? It was probably a Jew. It's the way we do it.
Well, you're mistaken. It was me, Adam, actually.
Oh, Tony Danza?
And, we don't have tape of it because some things just don't end up on YouTube. But I'll tell you basically the script. There was a scripted version. I did an improv on it, but it was basically, hi, I'm Tony Danza. There's a lot of things going on in the world. Kids not being able to read. Chipotle charging more for salsa. And also, they don't got the good sodas anymore. They don't got Frescas or A&W root beer. Now it's like a weird off-brand, like, Shasta. Which, coincidentally, I dated a girl in college named Shasta. I think that was actually her nickname. Maybe her stripper name. Wow, I'm just putting this together. She definitely was a hooker. So, look, on the streets of Los Angeles, there's people without homes, there's people without toilets. They gotta go. Look, there's been times I've been rushing through LaGuardia looking to shit somewhere, and I'll see a fat kid's backpack and go, he's got more snacks. He don't need these handy snacks right now. His dad's got more in his suitcase. So I'll plop down on the side of the street like any of these homeless guys would. They pee, they bleed. We all bleed. These guys bleed through their pee. That's how sick they are. Ever seen an Indian cry at the blood and piss? Anyway, don't litter. That's what I'm trying to say.
Just saying,
powerful.
Drew talking about typhus and typhoid, malaria, scarlet fever, and fecal matter everywhere. It's getting me a little bummed out.
It is.
And also, in years past, if there was a lot of talk about malaria and scarlet fever and fecal matter on the street, I'd be like, hey, man, India's got to get their shit together. It's 2019.
Bangladesh is a mess.
I think we were talking about Hancock Park.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
Well, Eddie Murphy hasn't done stand-up in about 30 years, but he might be coming back to the stage. Fans have been clamoring for a new comedy special from him, apparently, and Murphy's reportedly in talks with Netflix on a huge deal. According to TMZ, Murphy and the streaming service are talking about a series of comedy specials, which could net him around $70 million.
Here's a thought.
So pumped.
These things, stand-up, especially old stand-up, it can never be as good as it is in your head. Like when you saw it at 14 and you were like out of your mind. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you could never have a crush like you had a crush on someone when you were 14. Like it could never. No. Eddie Murphy is funny and he's great. But his stand-up special, whatever the new one is, could never be as good as we all remember it.
What it meant to you.
And we've done it. Yeah. And there really is only one choice. It's he does his special. Everyone who idolized him remembers his old stuff, did it at the schoolyard when they went to school. All the general consensus will be like,
it's good to see him up there.
It was okay. Rogan's was better, but it was okay. Like, that's what that's unfortunately, that is our only option.
Yeah.
And he's going to get $70 million and he's going to do great, but everyone's going to be like, kind of like Chappelle's first one, or he's lost his fastball a little bit.
Like Jordan coming back to play for the Wizards. Like, it's still Michael Jordan out there, but it's not the thing I see soaring in my mind from the free throw line.
It doesn't really matter how good it is. We're all going to go, okay, maybe not as good as I remember, and that is...
But what if it just exceeds our expectations? And what if he's just been like, what if he's one of these like crazy comedy...
He's been writing for 30 years.
Yeah, that he literally has been performing in places that we hit, and it just kept it under wraps. Maybe there's some weird comedy club in Beirut, and he's been going there every couple months to work out his his
That's a great movie.
Transvestite.
That's a great movie.
Material. What?
The comedian who goes to Beirut secretly for 30 years to
That is great.
hone his material.
15
Wow.
minutes.
Guess what? And I would get the Rotten Tomato score wrong on what it was. But who would star in that? Robert Redford?
Eddie Murphy.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I just
Norbit too?
it is going to have to be so
good.
out of this world that we'll have no choice but to do it. If it's a 9 or below, everyone's going to be like, he's lost his fastball. It's not as good as the old stuff.
Yeah.
Like that'll be it.
Because, by the way, the old stuff, look at what we will compare it to. A special from 20, maybe 30 years ago, which was unreal. There also is a great thing about stand-up that you can attest to. It's like he's going to have to do what Chappelle and Chris Rock and fucking even... I guess Ellen didn't really do it, but like I'm just trying to think of some of the big dogs that hit the clubs to work the material. Like he's going to have to pop in at the Comedy Store and maybe whoever, like wherever, to really get his chops back. He can't just, or maybe he won't. So it's like that's something he's probably got to consider, because then it's like you can't casually, like Chappelle can, he comes in really late sometimes to make sure that there's can't be a word on the street trickle down to where like thousands of people rush at 1:45, but he's going to have to find those late night reps,
To both your points, I know this isn't the same thing, but do you guys remember at the SNL, 40th anniversary thing, he kind of ceremoniously came out and closed it out with like it felt like impromptu stand-up, but what I'm saying is it was like, oh my God, Eddie Murphy.
No, he didn't do any,
he didn't do any characters or anything.
And nothing
That's what
funny.
I'm saying.
I remember
it felt very flat.
Yeah.
Almost probably on, on purpose. He was just like, I know what you want, but like, maybe I'm saving it. I don't know. That was the moment, though.
I think he's going to take his $70 million and he's going to kind of do what a beloved prize fighter does. He's going to take a huge payday,
hype it up,
go out there and do it. We're going to go, he probably should have retired, but he gets a huge payday.
Wow.
That's my take.
All right.
Well, in other entertainment news, Sally Field and Sesame Street are among the 2019 Kennedy Center honorees. Sesame Street, by the way, first TV series to be honored. They say the children's program continues to revolutionize how kids and adults learn about our world. Linda Ronstadt and Earth, Wind & Fire are among the musical honorees. The ceremony takes place December 8th at, of course, Kennedy Center in D.C. It'll air December 15th on CBS.
Earth, Wind & Fire.
Yeah.
How they get 25 guys on the stage?
All I can think about is how many cutaways during performances do they show the honorees? Are they going to make those poor puppeteers sit under the seat and have Kermit enjoying it and nodding along?
They have to. They have to. That's what we want.
Yeah, that is what we want.
Is Carol Spinney going to be there?
Who's that?
You don't know who Carol Spinney is?
No.
Been in the Big Bird suit for 60
Oh,
years.
Carol Spinney.
Plays Oscar. Yeah. I thought you were talking about the other 85-year-old man that played Big Bird for 60 plus years. He's still kicking it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Who got into trouble for
Elmo?
Elmo got into
Kevin
trouble.
Clash, also the voice of Splinter.
Wow, Adam.
I wanted to be a
Ray.
Muppeteer for
Kevin
the
Clash,
longest time.
they made the you see the documentary?
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. It was
Right.
insightful.
And I choose to not believe that guy, was writing letters to.
You'd have to choose not to believe.
For sure.
Consciously.
I don't know. Elmo taught me too much.
What did they say he did?
That's a damn good question. I don't know the exact.
Yeah, was it child porn or no? It was kid.
Something
underage. It was like 14, 15-year-old boys, maybe like trying to show them, how their elbows could bend. Something weird with the body.
Yeah, in 2012, a 23-year-old Sheldon Stevens said he was in a sexual relationship with Clash when he was 16.
And Clash was what, 40?
Well, hold on. I don't want to defend the man, but if he was wearing the Elmo outfit, then that's okay.
Yeah, that makes him of no age.
That's right. He's timeless.
Yeah.
He's a timeless predator.
He's a timeless predator.
Right.
And now, if he was, just wearing basketball trunks and a smile,
You can't do that.
that's a different situation.
You're going to have to call the feds.
Elmo outfit, no problemo.
So Clash
That's
acknowledged
a 16-year-old living his dream.
Clash acknowledged that he'd been in a relationship with the accuser. However, he characterized it as being between consenting adults And then the guy Stevens later
One of Elmo's
recanted-
catchphrases, by the way.
Stevens later recants his accusation, but 2 weeks later, another accuser with similar accusations and lawsuits were filed against Clash. So
Grover's over there sitting pretty.
Yeah,
you.
Grover's
I
like,
told
this
you
is why I
this.
fly, motherfucker. It's like, by the way, did Elmo ever hold a press conference? You know what I'm saying?
There's two sides to every story.
Almost innocent.
Almost innocent.
The number for today is 2. 2 sides.
Today's episode is brought to you by fucking bullshit. Yeah.
Gloria Allred's leaning in.
Whispering, covering the mic.
All right, let's do one more, Gina Grad.
All right. Well, local activists in Galicia, Spain are urging government officials to intervene after multiple tourists have been reportedly hospitalized after swimming in an Instagram famous turquoise lake that is actually a chemically contained toxic dump. Last week, 2 Instagram influencers revealed that they had been recently sickened after coming in contact with the sparkling blue water.
Where's this from?
This is in Spain, in Galicia. Alternatively nicknamed the Galician Chernobyl, the waters of this lake are an old quarry that connect with a once a World War II era tungsten mine. According to the Daily Telegraph, the mine was
tungsten, probably.
Is it?
The word, I mean, what they
Like
mine
tungsten light
is
bulbs?
tungsten, I guess, but
I didn't
maybe
know
there's a
it spelled this way.
tungsten.
I
My
don't know.
grandma just actually checked in from beyond the grave. Tungstein.
Yeah.
Well, they were the tungsteens, and then they got to Ellis Island.
Right.
And they went, and
They were just the tongues.
Let's go with the tungstens.
This is spelled Tungsten. Steen.
I guess that's how you spell
I get
it.
tungsten.
Yeah.
Well, Max Panic can tell us.
I just know the light bulbs.
Well, it's metal,
Halogen.
and you mine it, so
Okay.
maybe there's
Yeah.
2. I don't know.
The mine was formerly abandoned in the 80s. It is pretty, but it is a toxic dump.
All you really need to know about human beings is mines. Because people dig huge holes in the ground,
Yeah.
dynamite stuff, make these huge cavernous, and it blights on the landscape. It's a mess. It's dangerous. It's dirty and everything. And the second they're done extracting whatever they needed out of it, they're like, all right, fellas, here we go.
Abandoned.
And they just walk off to make the
Abandoned-
next hole.
abandoned mines.
That's basically how humans are wired.
Yeah.
We are done with this thing.
Yeah.
And now we're leaving.
We're leaving.
What is it contaminated with? Just
It's always all
Primordial
you always
goo.
hear heavy metals. It's just a spelling error, according to
okay. 'cause I was
Gina's
gonna
story.
say it's, otherwise it's spelled tungsten.
So
Yeah.
the Instagram models, did they post? Did they get some good likes on their "We've been contaminated" shots?
In their ICU shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is I don't know. Do you guys feel like? Do you guys ever sit around and go, God, there's so much out there, and you live in this little world, and you're constantly sort of running around in your little snow globe, and you see these places you'll never go to, but then you think about going, and then you don't go. Should we all, I don't know, should everybody have, trying to think of something that's not insanely ambitious, because there's stuff here that I've not been to Monument Valley. I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, there are things in Utah I haven't been to.
Sure.
And you've been to Utah many times.
Right. Should everybody
You're going in October.
should everybody have something on their list of once a year you do something within 500 miles of where you live?
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Once a year, it's within 500 miles. Every 2 years, 2 to 3 years, you try to do something within the United States, and every 5 years, you do something internationally.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And also, if that's too far for some people, because for finances or time or whatever, you guys heard about being a tourist in your own city.
Yeah.
Like, I was 20-something when I walked across the Golden Gate Bridge for the first time. I'm from the Bay Area. You know what I mean? It's like, have you guys been to, I know Gina has, but like LACMA or like, the Natural History Museum. It's awesome. Go. Check it out. It's right in your hometown.
Yeah, I just went to Tubbs in Seattle for the first time, which, if you're not familiar, you're like, oh, isn't Space Needle the big hodgepodge attraction? No, Tubbs is actually a place that houses hot tubs for people to go fucking. Yeah.
Oh.
So it's in
That sounds
the
great.
Roosevelt District. Went for the first time.
Is it a
Didn't go
family?
in.
Is it family friendly?
Dude, they got everything you need.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cop out. Like, you're gonna get hold of me in 3 years. Well, how's the
How's
pledge
the
going?
touristing going?
Oh, hold on. Hear me out. There's a Carney's in Studio City. There's a one on Sunset. I went to the one in Studio City.
Yeah.
And I live in La Cañada, so that's not a short jaunt.
No,
It's not.
it's technically
Go
within
ahead and
500
check
miles.
that box.
In all seriousness, on that point, a very, very, very junior version of what we're talking about, everyone goes to... What happened?
Oh, no.
Tub salon closed. Everyone goes to the same restaurants over and over again. It's just it's the familiar. It's comfort, whatever. Make your pledge. Everyone listening, just go to a new restaurant. Go to a place
that's
you've
a good
heard
one.
about, a place that supposed to be great. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just go to a new one. Just try something new.
All right, let's bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
That was the news with Gina Grad.